Hello buddies and welcome back to this masterclass for the beginners in JSP. Whoa. Remember guys, we started off from scratch from class lesson 1 and we so far away, that is class lesson 5 or 6 or 7. Actually we are making a very big steps towards becoming a full stack developer. Remember, you just need JSP and Java and maybe MySQL database just to complete or to be a full stack programmer. I think just to complete our web applications. Right there, guys. So guys, I've talked a lot today in my this whatever it is, I don't know, but today we're going to learn about JSP directives. So welcome once again. So guys, we will start off by creating, I'm using Eclipse. For those who don't know, I'm using Eclipse around here, and if you are new, just welcome. And it means that today we might talk a lot more because we might not code a lot, but we will try to explain a little there, a little here things, and let's start. So in this chapter, guys, we will discuss a directive in JSP. So these directives provide directions and instructions to the container that has these resources or got something to give us, got some food for us. So it's telling it how to handle a certain aspect of JSP processing, you see. So yeah, so JSP directive affects the overall structure of the Servlet class. It usually has the following form, and that's what I'm going to show you here. So let me just remember this how we. Okay, I'm just going to delete everything that we have here for now because we don't need it, and I just write here JSP. Title, is that title? Yes. JSP directives, just like that. And then from here, what else do I need? This variable here? No, I don't need it. And there we go. Okay. So the syntax is simply as this, guys. So remember, you must have to include this less percentage. Yeah, that's how we write the JSP code in our Eclipse. And yeah, so you should put that percentage there and then put in some at. Then you can say the directive. You can the name of the directive. So this gives us direction to our data resources, right? Attribute. So in that directive, in that source, we need a certain attribute, and that attribute we can give a value. So it's equal to the value. I know you're confused. What is this guy doing? Relax, you know. Oh, before just I go so far away, I got some projects around here with me. So you see, this is I'm saying over here. I'm saying a directive and then attribute equal to the value. Let me show you a real example here. So it is in this application that I'm doing, and you can see here a directive, which actually the name itself can be include, can be page, you see we have two of them here, and then the attribute. So the attribute is import, or the attribute is I need a file. Yeah, you see, and this is the value now. So the value, you can see a footer.jsp. This is actually a page we just got the value. Let me show you. Let me go fast like this, and let me just push a little bit here. So the directive is footer.jsp. So you can see this is it. So this is the footer. This is actually how it looks like. And if you wanna see this footer in real life, let me just run this application. And guys, as I've already said, today we will talk because I'm just going to explain a little thing. We're not going to code it that much because it's meant to be this way. So run this on a server. All I may say, save syntax. Yeah, I think you can don't say none. Actually, save and leave my run. So today is more of the kind of live things. Yeah. So actually, this application that you can see it's called the application name is online shopping system. So I have got this online shopping system I'm building. So I'll be mostly use it for an example to show you things here and there. Why are you not running anyway? Okay, let me just run the server because I'm using MySQL and I've connected the database, my application, my web application. So I've just start this server and I'm using SAM, and I'm going to start Apache. This running on port 80, which is the file, which is HTTPS. So we're using this port here, and this the port ID. So again, I'll start MySQL. It runs. Oh my God, there's an error shutdown. Again, this has been a problem. So hope I might not run this, but let me try once again, and then I come back. So guys, you can see MySQL server is running at port 3306. That's where my server is. Again, let me just run this. Run on a server. This is running a Tomcat. No, it's just a hiding on this at the side because I've been using it. So, no, I don't want to restart this. Okay, so I just want to log in. I just want to log in and pop there. So I'm at home. This is how it looks like. So what I'm saying is, you know, look at this. Look at this. We are here, right? This. Oh, I was talking about the footer, and this is the footer right here. So if you wanna see the footer, it's just right here. Is this average deserved ticket company? So what I did is because I have so many pages here. You see, for example, this is home, and I don't know if I have something in my cart. Yes, I got some product in my cart. And again, you can see I have this footer again, the exact. So instead of just coding, having so many of them, creating so many of them, you can just create one and then use this keyword here. This keyword, which actually is so I will use this keyword here. See the directive and then attribute and then the value. This is exactly the here in this page import. So I should get back to home. Yeah, it is this. So include, you can include the file here. So the file is the footer and this is the file. So I can bring in here again. So that is it. So that you can have a number of attributes which you can list down as give value pairs and separated by a commas. So guys, the blank between the this one here, this space over here, and the directive name, which is this, and between the last attribute and the closing, this space over here. These are actually optional, so you can squeeze them and they don't cause any harm to work on. So guys, there are also three types of directive tags, and those are at page. So you can see we have at page here. You see at page. So this actually defines the page dependent attributes such as scripting language, error page, and the buffering requirement. For example, in my application, I've already got an error page. You can see here. So you see, I define that this page is an error page. So I can use this wherever the application has some issues. So it will probably jump around here and display this something went wrong. So yeah, that's it. Again, we have the include. So again, let me just find the include here. You can see here. So the include, this actually includes a file during translation phase. So once the application is running, so we, for example, when I call, once I log in, you see I call home, I call this page, I call this page. So once it translates, then that's when we include that page. So last, again, we have a tag clip. I haven't used a tag clip yet, but tag clip can help to connect to the database. So this actually declares tag library containing custom actions used in the page. So let's talk about the page directives. So the page directives is used to provide instruction to a container. And this instruction pertains to a current JSP page. You may code page directive anywhere in your JSP page by convention. Page directives are coded at the top of the JSP page, as you can see over here. They are on the top here, so you can put whatever you want, but conventionally they are placed on the top of the page over here. So on this, you can actually do this. So the syntax is again opening percentage, then at the page you can say page, then attribute, then we assign the value, and when we this is where we assign the value, just like that. So let's start by talking of the attributes. So I just want to show a table list that contain attributes associated with the page directive. So the first one here is it's called a buffer. So this is an attribute which actually specify a buffering model for the output stream. For example, if you want to put you have to specify how many bits you are going to buffer, you are going to carry before you output. So a buffer is used to do that specific. Also we have the auto flash attribute which control the behavior of a Servlet output buffer. So when you want to output, you need to control some other things. You are not going to split everything, but you need to control. That's when we use the auto flash. Also we have the content type, which defines the character encoding scheme. So we have this also here, content type. So the content type, this we have already said that define the character encoding scheme. For example, here you see on top of this page we have the chat page language. Okay, you can see this, the page, and then we have the language, which is Java. Content type, you see, this content type is so we are defining it. We need a text HTML, that is the content type. But this kind of processes, right? Again, encoding type, the encryption that we have here, we are using this UTF-8. This is the encoding type. So again, we have the error page, which defines the, as you can see here, I have my error page. Where is it again? Yeah, it is here. So error page defines the URL of the another JSP that reports on Java unchecked runtime exception. So once the Java runtime exception is raised, then error page will be called to show, not necessarily to show the specific error, but at least to say something. Hey, some problem is over here, is around here with us. So also let's talk about is error page. So this also indicates if this JSP page is a URL specified by another JSP page, error page attributes. So again, we have a couple of them. I don't know if we can finish all these. There's too many, but we will try to push a little here, a little there, right? Okay, so we will try to do a number of them. So again, let's talk about the extents. So this directive, this attribute is used to specify a superclass that the generated servlet must extend. For example, you have another class that has got to handle things to do with pupils or students. And then we have another class that handles teacher. You can extend that. So that's again it's the same concept. So again, let's talk about the import. So also this property, why do I keep saying property instead of attributes? It seems that I'm one of the day. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm okay. So let's talk about that. This import. So the import, this specify a list of package or classes for using the JSP as the Java import statement does for the Java classes. So this import setup I can show you. I think I have those. So you see, this is the Java. So we use this to import the Java class. So you can see here, import. Actually, in this page, this is what this means. I need to import this Java class, which is a project.connection provider. So you can see on my project.connection provider is just right here, which is a pure Java class connection. Where is P? I think it's all okay. It's a Java class, so it should be in here. Should be in a Java class. So this is it. So again, you can see this. This is my backend database. So you see, this is a connection class. So I just imported in here. Where is it again? Yeah. So I did import that database connection class. So again, let's talk about info, which defines a string that can be accessed with a servlet, like get servlet information method. So this is just strings to be accessed. Again, is thread save attribute. This actually defines the threading model for the generated servlet, and we have the language, which defines the programming language using JSP page. For example, I think I had a couple of them. It defines the language where okay, it's somewhere, but it defines which language is going to be used in JSP. So for this one is Java, right? Again, we have the session. So also the session is specified whether or not the JSP page participates in HTTP sessions. So in HTTP sessions, that's when the client send a request, and the clients must be placed in a session so that you can be tracked and you can get the IP address on that. And also last but not least, we have is EL ignored. So this will specify whether or not the EL expression, these are just expressions within the JSP page, whether it's going to be ignored. So yeah, and lastly is scripting enabled. So this determines if the scripting element are allowed for use. So guys, that is it for today, and I think I should add this little thing here before we end up this lesson. So let's talk about this, the include directive. So the include directive is used to include a file during translation phase, and this directive tells the container to match the content of another external file with the current JSP during the translation phase. So that's when we use this include here. You can see here, right? So we can include it everywhere in our page so that we can use it. Say, for example, the footer, you can see it here, right? I think this one is also this login. This login must have it. You jumping. Yeah, you can see here. It also has this footer. So and we said that the syntax is just like include. Oh, I didn't do that. So the syntax is this percentage and at what is include, just like this one. Okay, let me just finish it. Right? Include, which is an directive. So this include file. So this is how we call that page to this page that we can use its contents. So the file name in the include directive is usually a relative URL. If you just specify a file name with no associated path, the JSP compiler assumes that the file is in the same directory as your JSP file, and it's going to raise a problem because it's not there. Okay. The last one is a tag lib directive. So the Java server page API allows you to define a custom JSP tag that looks like HTML or XML. Because do you even know if there is XML, which is also a markup language, but this one is actually the way structured in XML way. So this tags and tags library is set to define a tag that implement custom behaviors. that's too much. So lastly guys, the tag lib directive declares that your JSP page uses a set of custom tags, identifies the location of the library, and provide means for identifying the custom tag in your JSP page. So it's normally, the syntax is normally percentage at tag lib, and then you put URL there, and then give the value there, which is will be URL, and then the prefixes. You put these prefixes here, which will be equal to again the prefix of the tag, right? Prefix of simpler like that. So here the URL, this one here, the URL attribute value resolves to allocation. The container understands, and and also the prefix is here. attribute informs a container that bits of markup are custom actions. So yeah, that is it. So guys, it's been a weird class, but it's been a fantastic, one of the greatest class I've ever seen. Because this is, you need to know how you're going to manipulate these pages, how you're going to use those prefixes, URL, the file, and it was all about directives attributing the directive to give us direction to our resources, simple as that. So thank you so much for joining the class of today, and hope that you will join the next one. And if you feel that this was useful, kindly make a thumbs up there, and go down there again, subscribe, and share with your buddies and friends and grandma and grandfather. Thank you so much, and see you in the next lesson.